Hi. So far in this set on pricing, we've discussed some of the logic of pricing strategy. And today I want us to move to a different aspect of pricing, less to do with logic, much more to do with emotion or perception. We're going to explore the idea of how customers feel about the price rather than the specific number itself. And we're going to touch on a number of different options that you might want to consider. Well, no doubt you've visited shops and seen the price as $9.99, $9.95 instead of 10. In fact, whenever I've done research on retail pricing, I find that the figures 9 and 5 are by far the most common end figures. Petrol or gas, if you speak American, it's always priced like this. So some academics, they call it charm pricing. Others will use the term rather more generically as psychological pricing. And I've even seen one researcher call it left digit pricing. But it works. It works because our brains read left to right. $9.99 feels cheaper than £10, even though we all know there's just 1 penny difference. Let's look at a different approach. This is called anchoring. And this is where you show a high original price next to a discounted one so that it feels like a bargain. But by the way, the original price, you have to be able to justify that there was a real original price. You can't just make it up. This is the Black Friday model. You're given an apparently much lower price for a limited time to encourage you to buy. And again, it works because of FOMO, the fear of missing out. If I don't buy it now, I may not get another chance. Another option you might want to think about is a more exclusive or premium prestige pricing, where you intentionally charge a lot more to communicate exclusivity or luxury. And we touched on this in a previous session. So the idea is that the customer can feel a degree of prestige or importance simply from buying from you. And very often the customer will want to communicate this feeling to others, and they'll display the brand logo to signal their prestige or at least what they think is their prestige. In some cases, it doesn't even have to be the product, maybe just the idea of the product. So, for example, you might see shoppers in a discount supermarket carrying bags with the logo of a very upmarket supermarket. Another option is tiered pricing. So this is where you give the customer 3 price options, typically cheap, middle, and expensive. And it works very well. And most people will go for the middle option, especially if your cheap option is only a little bit cheaper, a little bit more expensive, a little bit cheaper it'll be, than the next option. It makes the next option seem like a much better offer. You'll see this model very typically in a fast food restaurant, in a coffee shop, where you'll typically get small, medium, and large. Interestingly, in the US, the medium is about double the size of the medium in Europe. Make of that what you will. But generally, well, it depends on the context, of course, the product. But generally speaking, people are going to go for the middle option. Final option for you, dynamic pricing. So this is all about flexibility, and you change the price in real time based on demand, availability, timing, customer behavior, maybe even location. You will have seen this with airline tickets, hotel rooms, ride-sharing apps. I've even seen it in a bar where the prices of the drinks were moving up and down during the evening depending on how popular they were. So this model works very well. When demand spikes, prices go up. When demand drops, they fall. The more sophisticated models that the big companies use, they're driven by algorithms, but the core idea, it's very simple, and it simply says charge more when people are willing to pay more. So what does this mean if you're a business owner? Well, it might mean you have to, or you choose to adjust the price for, let's say, seasonal demand, making time-sensitive offers, perhaps. You might tailor different prices to different customer segments. And the benefit of doing it is you maximize the revenue. Your prices you might want to change them based on time of day, time of the week, time of the month. Maybe they change if the customer accepts more flexibility, less control. And I find that in the right circumstances, it's a very good approach. But there's a big caution here, and the caution is that dynamic pricing, it can feel very unfair if you don't handle it transparently. People don't like discovering that they paid more than someone else for the same thing. So you have to be very clear about how the customer works so that the customer can use the system to their advantage if they choose to. And if they don't, they at least know why they're paying more. Okay, so this week we've looked at a number of issues concerned with pricing. And I'm going to leave you now to think about your own business and how some of them might apply. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time.